الحمد لله ثم الحمد لله. الحمد لله تعالى نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره، ونعوذ بالله تعالى من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. يا ربنا لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك ولعظيم سلطانك. سبحانك لا نحصي ثناء عليك أنت كما أثنيت على نفسك. لك الحمد كله ولك الشكر كله على ما أنعمت وأوليت يا رب العالمين. اللهم كما أنعمت فأدم وزدنا من نعمك واجعلنا من الشاكرين. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله الملك الحق المبين، وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله وصفيه وخليله، أرسله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره المشركون. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن اهتدى بهديه واتبع سنته واقتفى أثره بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، فها نحن ذا في شهر ربيع الأول، وهو شهر فيه أنعم الله سبحانه وتعالى على هذه الأمة أن أرسل محمدًا صلى الله عليه وسلم خيرًا للناس كافة ورحمة للناس كافة. ففي هذا الشهر الكريم كان يوم مولده عليه الصلاة والسلام، واختلف العلماء وأصحاب النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام في أي يوم كان، هل في الثالث منه، هل في الثامن منه، هل في الثاني عشر منه، والذي عليه غالب الأقوال أنه في الثاني عشر، ولكن ليس عليه إجماع. على كل، المجمع عليه أنه ولد صلى الله عليه وسلم في ربيع الأنور في هذا الشهر المبارك الموافق 22 من إبريل 571 ميلادي. فمثل هذا اليوم، أي في مثل هذا الشهر الكريم، ولد عليه الصلاة والسلام الرحمة المهداة، كما جاء في الرواية عنه عليه الصلاة والسلام أنه قال: إنما أنا رحمة مهداة. So we are in Rabi' al-Awwal, and this very occasion we have every year, and it is the month of his birth alayhi salatu wassalam. And this very month he was born sallallahu alayhi wasallam. We have some differences amongst the scholars. Was it in the 3rd of Rabi' al-Awwal or the 8th or the 12th? The most popular and famous one is the 12th, which coincides with the 22nd of April 571. And this very occasion he was born alayhi salatu wassalam, the gifted mercy, as in the narration, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, I'm but a gifted mercy to you. And Allah Azza wa Jal stated in the Quran that He is a mercy alayhi salatu wassalam. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. We have sent you but as a mercy for all mankind, or for all the worlds, including mankind, including different creations. So I know we have some discussions every year, ongoing discussions. Is it allowed, not allowed? Is it bid'ah? Is it sunnah? And we have these discussions. I'm not into this discussion now. But I just want to highlight some facts. Without doubt, we are not considering his birthday as Eid, because this is a bid'ah, of course. We have just 2 Eids as Muslims in our calendar. Al-Fitr and Al-Adha. That's it. But does not mean that we as Ummah, we do not have special occasions where we are allowed to celebrate happiness, to celebrate the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jalla, to celebrate the gifts which we have been given from Him, to show our gratitude. So we have different occasions, and this is not fair to say we are not allowed to celebrate his birthday without considering it as a Eid, of course. And on the other side, we can, for instance, celebrate the national day, be it this country, that country, I don't know where, and celebrate this occasion of this king or that president or this minister or that, I don't know what. Regardless of these discussions, my point is Allah Azza wa Jal stating in the Quran, قُلْ بِفَضْلِ اللَّهِ وَبِرَحْمَتِهِ فَبِذَلِكَ فَلْيَفْرَحُوا. Say, by the grace of Allah and His mercy, let them be happy about it. So we do celebrate the mercy which we have received from Allah, and the gifts and the grace which we have received from Allah. Especially we who are living in the West, in these special circumstances, we need to find alternatives to our children. Of course, it's not just Rabi' al-Awwal where we introduce his seerah to our children, to our communities, to everyone. But nevertheless, if it's an occasion, why don't we utilize it and spread his seerah more, alayhi salatu wassalam, and introduce his character more, alayhi salatu wassalam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, He stated, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. Indeed, in the Messenger of Allah, you have the great role model to follow. So he is the role model, alayhi salatu wassalam. Not only in Rabi' al-Awwal. Throughout the year, he is the role model, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But there is nothing wrong if we were to highlight more of his seerah in Rabi' al-Awwal, to introduce more of his character in Rabi' al-Awwal, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And regarding gathering the people and reciting his seerah and reciting some Quran and distributing some sweets out of their happiness about his mercy without having some issues which is irrelevant to the Sharia or impermissible in the Sharia. This is a rewarding thing. To come together and read Quran and to come together and celebrate his character sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and teach it and practice it and promote it. This is something we should be doing. It's not recommended, it's a must thing. We should improve our character, we should improve our practice and our following to the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. So we have plenty of narrations in the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam which talks about his mercy alayhi salatu wasalam, his kindness alayhi salatu wasalam, his wisdom sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So we need to introduce this and to practice it at the same time. So for instance, if we were to introduce the character of kindness, just do some research in the Sunnah about the kindness, ar-rifq, under the word ar-rifq. So كان صلى الله عليه وسلم رفيقا يحب الرفق. He was kind and he will reward for kindness, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And he used to say to Aisha, Ya Aisha, إن الله يجزي على الرفق ما لا يجزي على العنف. Allah rewards kindness more than He rewards harshness. So we need them to be kind and introduce this kindness to our children, to ourselves, to our families, to our communities, by following His role model, alayhi salatu wassalam. And at the same time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, قُلْ إِن كُنتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهِ فَاتَّبِعُونِي يُحْبِبْكُمُ اللَّهِ. Say, if you love Allah, follow me, i.e. the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Allah will love you. So our love to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has to be channelized in our practice. It's not just emotions, it's not just celebrations. It's about as well ittiba', which we say in Arabic. Ittiba' is to follow him, alayhi salatu wasallam, his character, his footsteps. Not only the outward character, about the way he dresses, the way he grown his beard, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's not just that. It's the inward thing, about the purity of the intention, about the kindness, about the mercy, about the good character, which is the most important thing. And Allah Azza wa Jalla, when He described Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, He said, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. Indeed, you have the highest moral or the character. So he has the best character, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This is what makes him so special. Apart from being supported by the revelation and Jibreel alayhi salam, so he was sallallahu alayhi wa sallam the role model to follow. And how many of us, how many of our children, how many of our communities know much about his character, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So we need to introduce more of this to our communities. And we have short booklets we can read, not only in Rabi' al-Awwal with our children, like Shama'il al-Tirmidhi, like the summary of the Tirmidhi as well, Shama'il. Imam al-Suyuti has written something on that. And we have plenty of other short booklets, and we can of course go to the big ones like Shifa, Qadi Iyad, like others, which talking about his character, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. To adopt it, to follow it, to practice it. And in this very month, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, as well, he received the revelation. So the very first revelation he received was as well in Rabi' al-Awwal. And he entered into Medina in Rabi' al-Awwal sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And he passed away in Rabi' al-Awwal sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So Rabi' al-Awwal has many strings attached to it. Many occasions, many events. So when Rabi' al-Awwal comes, it's not fair to just shut down all these events and say because we cannot make it as Eid, then we are not going to talk about it. And we are afraid to talk about it. No. No one considers this as Eid, but it is an occasion we should show our gratitude to Allah that we have received the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And it's not just talking about it, it's as well practicing. So it's been narrated in Bukhari as well that Abdullah bin Hisham was with the Prophet in the mosque, and he said that Umar was shaking hands with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he said to the Prophet alayhi salatu wasallam, Ya Rasulullah, لأنت أحب إلي من كل شيء إلا من نفسي. You are more beloved to me than anything else but my own self. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, لا يا عمر حتى أكون أحب إليك من نفسك. No, Umar, until I become more beloved to you than your own self. And then Umar quickly, he said, الآن أنت أحب إلي من نفسي. Just now, you are more beloved to me than my own self. And the Prophet ﷺ replied by saying, Al-ana ya Umar, Al-ana ya Umar. Now, O Umar, now, O Umar. And the commentators commented on this narration, Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani and others, and they said, now it means now you have perfected your iman. So by loving the Prophet ﷺ more than our own selves, as in Bukhari and Muslim as well, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى أكون أحب إليه من والده وولده والناس أجمعين. None of you believes until I become more beloved to him than his father, his son, and the rest of humanity. And in another narration in Sahih Muslim, the Prophet ﷺ, he said, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى أكون أحب إليه من أهله وولده والناس أجمعين. None of you believes until I become more beloved to him than his family, his children, and the rest of humanity. So there are plenty of these narrations. Shows the most important thing attached to us, our love to Allah Azza wa Jal and the love to His Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And it shouldn't be a hollow love which is empty, just words. This love has to be practiced in our character, with our family first. خيركم خيركم لأهله وأنا خيركم لأهلي. The best amongst you is the best to his family, and I am the best amongst you to my family. So this is number one. How to implement his character. It starts at home. There's no point to be very good outside and very bad inside. To have two mosques. One you were outside, one you were inside. Sometimes we have more than that. We have 3, 4, 5. One in the mosque, one at work, one in the street, and you name it. It's just one face you have. That truthful face with Allah Azza wa Jal and the people. So the first point is to practice his character inside our house. And this is the best way to teach. It's teaching through example, not teaching through lecturing. Through example. Be the role model to your children. Be the role model to your colleagues and friends. So this is how he was, alayhi salatu wasalam. He never practiced, or he never lectured something and he never practiced it. No. And amongst those who came to Islam, the king of Oman, he said, long time ago, at that time, he said, I came to Islam because I saw that the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, he never said something, but he will do it first. ما أمر بشيء إلا فعله أولا. And he never refrained people from something, but he himself started with that. And this is how we introduce the character, by implementing it ourselves. And how we do this? We need to read more about his character, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we need to read more about his seerah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and make ourselves and our children more familiar with him, and his family, his children, his cousins, his uncles, his aunties, and so on and so forth. That was the other day delivering a very short reminder. And I've asked some youngsters around me, do you know how many paternal uncles he used to have, alayhi salatu wasalam? None of them could answer the question. Even their parents. None of them. I'm pretty sure even many of us can't answer this question now. 12. And how many of his paternal aunties he used to have? 6. How many of them came to Islam? 2 or 3, we have some differences. And how many of his uncles came to Islam amongst the 12? 2. Hamza and Al-Abbas. So you just make it like fun. You introduce it like fun to them. And they will be more familiar with his seerah, alayhi salatu wasalam. How many cousins he used to have? Have a guess. And so on. So we need to make this something they love. But if we never talked about it, if we ourselves, we have no idea about it, then they will know about footballers more than they know about the companions. And I've asked this question to these youngsters. Do you know this or that player? Yes, they tell you his biography, how many matches he was in, and so on and so forth. Okay. Do you know how many companions he used to have, alayhi salatu wassalam? So let's make it fun to them. It's not just an obligation and just push it through the education. It's something they should learn and love. And the Prophet ﷺ, he was the best educator. إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ مُعَلِّمًا. I have been sent as an educator, as a teacher. So we need to teach our children about his character ﷺ, and implement it. And say, for instance, let's practice this month or this week or these couple of weeks, improve ourselves in kindness. Let's improve ourselves in mercy. Let's improve ourselves this month in spending for Allah's sake. Let's improve ourselves this month in looking after our neighbors. Let's improve ourselves this month in visiting the patients people. Let's improve ourselves in taking the harmful things from the street. And so on. So you have a list of things. You say, okay, let's do this together this month, or this week, or this weekend. Then we are not just lecturing about his character, we are practicing his character. And this is exactly what we need. Many of the Muslim countries, probably the largest countries, it's never been invaded by any war. It's just been invaded by the kindness of the businessmen and the tradesmen across the globe. Through their character, they invaded the hearts of the people, and the people came to Islam. So we need to come back again to adopt his character and to introduce his character to ourselves, to our families again. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم فاستغفروه. الحمد لله وكفى والصلاة والسلام على النبي المصطفى وعلى آله وصحبه ومن بعهده وفاء. أما بعد, our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى أكون أحب إليه من أهله وولده والناس أجمعين. None of you believes until I become more beloved to him than his family, his children, and the rest of humanity. So we need to increase his love in our life, in our practice, and we need as well to learn, because you can't love something which you know nothing about. So through learning about him, alayhi salatu wassalam, will increase this love and will increase our following and our ittiba to him, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And Allah said in the Quran, وَإِن تُطِيعُوهُ تَهْتَدُوا. If you are to follow him, you will be guided. And every day we say, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. Guide us to the straight path. So our guidance is through following him, alayhi salatu wassalam. And in order to follow him, we need to know more about him, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So let's start from today, reading more of his seerah to our children. Bedtime stories, be it, or some gatherings, the evening time with your children, 5-10 minutes. Just talk about one character of his, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And let's make this a common practice every day. And let's make every week introducing a character and we implement it throughout the week and check how am I doing this week? Am I doing well with this character, with your children, with your wife, with your colleagues, and so on? So let's be practical and put his character into practice, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And then he will be proud of us, alayhi salatu wa sallam. We do not want to be amongst those who will be stopped before his hawd and the angels will take them away. And the Prophet ﷺ will say to them, as it's been narrated in Musnad Ahmad, the angels will be taking these people away. And the Prophet, he will say, alayhi salatu wasalam, why you are taking them away? They are from my ummah. And the angels will reply back by saying, إِنَّكَ لَا تَدْرِي مَا أَحْدَثُوا بَعْدَكَ. You never know what they have introduced after you, what they have invented after you, through bad character, bad practices, you name it. And then he will say, alayhi salatu wassalam, فَلَا تُسَوِّدُوا وَجْهِي يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. Do not make me feel ashamed on the day of judgment. Do not make me feel ashamed on the day of judgment. Because they are from his ummah. So he feels, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, ashamed when they take them away from his hawd. He will never be able to give them a cup from his hawd, to drink from the hawd, because of their bad and ill practices. So we need to make him proud of us, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, by following his footsteps and not innovating in his deen and not introducing things which are not from his deen, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So I ask Allah Azza wa Jal to enable us to revive his sunnah again amongst us, to enable us to introduce his love and to practice his character more and more. اللهم يا رب يا رحمن يا بديع السماوات والأرض يا ذا الجلال والإكرام اللهم إنا نسألك العفو والعافية والمعافاة الدائمة في الدين والدنيا والآخرة. اللهم أكرمنا باتباع النبي المصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم أكرمنا باتباع النبي المصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم أكرمنا بإحياء سنته. أحينا على سنته وأمتنا على سنته واحشرنا في ملته وفي زمرته يا رب العالمين. اللهم إنا نسألك يا الله يا الله أن تكرمنا باتباع النبي المصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم نحن وأبناؤنا وذرياتنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث يا الله فرج الكرب عن المكروبين ونفس الهم عن المهمومين ووفي الدين عن المدينين. اللهم اشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين. اللهم اشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين. اللهم اشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين وارحم موتانا وموتى المسلمين وأصلحنا واجعلنا صالحين مصلحين يا رب العالمين. أجب دعانا بكرمك يا مولانا والحمد لله رب العالمين. عباد الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله العظيم يذكركم واشكروه على نعمه يزدكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. قوموا إلى صلاتكم. الحمد لله.